Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Studs, coming to you from the Southeastern Connecticut Home and Garden Show at the Mohegan Sun. Here are your hosts, Colin and Jimmy.
What's up, Jimmy? How you doing, buddy?
Awesome, Mohegan Sun. This
I know,
is
right?
freaking. Oh my God!
I know. How long has it been that we've been talking about this?
3 months now.
Well, no, I think it was even like last October or something like that.
Well, this is it. I'm pinching myself.
Yeah.
myself.
This is pretty cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
gonna be a great
tons
time.
of people everywhere.
That's right.
Right.
We'll be here for 3 days. We're gonna have a lot of interviews with a lot of people that, from roofing to basements to patios to all this great stuff. But first of all, our first one, my blast from the past. We're with Paul Gray from Certa Pro Painters.
What's up, Paul?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
And Paul was my boss 20 years ago.
No kid.
When I first started out painting.
How long did that last?
Tricks.
Oh, he was with me for 2 years at least.
Yeah, at least 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't fire him?
No, man.
Jimmy was a great crew leader.
Thank you, Paul.
Was he?
Thank you.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a great time. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from Certa Pro Painters. The guys do it right. They have a guidebook, and there was on-the-job training, and there was some workshops, and I learned so much, and I still apply it today.
Yeah.
But Certa Pro went bigger than I was because I was I was a lonely painter. I didn't have a company or a crew, so it went into some changes. But Certa Pro is still doing really, really great. I do refer Certa Pro to other jobs and their consistency. But you know what? Enough about me.
Yeah.
Let Paul talk about Certa Pro Painters.
All right.
Paul, buddy.
How long you been with him?
Well, I was the owner from 1992 to 2000, and that's when Jimmy worked for me.
Yep.
I sold the business in 2000.
Okay.
And went to work for the new owner.
Nice.
It was one of my fellow franchisees out of Massachusetts, David Mora.
Okay.
And he sold the business to David Messier, who is actually the business owner now.
Wow.
In 2004.
Okay.
So Dave has owned the business for 16 years now.
Man.
Yeah.
And
I
worked for him for 14 out of the 16 years.
Yeah.
With a brief period off for 2 years.
Very cool.
So.
Yeah. So what do you do for the company now? What's your role?
Well, I handle commercial sales.
Okay.
So if somebody with a condominium complex or a commercial building gives us a call for an estimate, I will go out and provide that estimate and negotiate the contract, and then if we land the job, then we'll set up the crew to go do the job.
Nice. Now, what areas do you guys service?
Well, commercially, pretty much all of Eastern Connecticut.
Okay.
Wyndham County, Tolland County, up into the Hartford area, and down into the Connecticut River Valley, New Haven. Milford is probably the furthest we'll go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, you're still doing residential work, too, right? In the same areas you just talked about?
We do residential. That is more restricted. It's by zip codes, and that's how they Certa Pro kind of sells zip codes.
Okay.
It's a franchise.
Gotcha.
And we handle Mystic up to Glastonbury, down to Old Saybrook, Madison.
Nice.
Westbrook, those areas as well.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Nice. Me too. That's where I am. I don't go as far as you guys go.
Well, when I see houses and they've got the Certa Pro sign out, I know they're in good hands.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys have a great reputation, and you back your product, and we love to have people on the show that, not just trustworthy, but they back their material, they back their product. And I've never heard a real bad thing at all about your company. And it's an honor to see you again and to be here with you. It's like it brings back some really great memories, and just really
home week.
Yeah, it's like homecoming,
nice.
man.
Nice,
freaking awesome.
Now, Jimmy, I remember you used to talk about Certa Pro when we were working together, and I'm trying to remember the things that you used to talk about, but I feel like it was like some sort of like safety incentives or something like that.
No, we had. Well,
what was it?
All right, so I don't know if. This was a great incentive, but I have to say it was a great incentive because Paul had started the business, and this was early on.
Yeah.
But Paul said, "Listen, if I ever show up on the job, and I see drop cloths on the roof when you're working, I have an incentive for you. If I open up an empty paint can and there's no paint in the paint can, I have an incentive for you." Can I talk about what the incentive was, Paul?
What was the incentive?
This is what I'm remembering.
Was it $5?
It's $20.
$20.
$20,
Yeah.
man.
That's
That's why I had to sell the business.
But
that makes sense.
No, but what's really good about I was running the crew. I was the foreman, so I had to watch all that. And it got to a point where after I was working for the summer and was working with the guys, they were just, it was second nature. All the cans were empty, and there was always drop cloths on the job. Never once did you have to go, hey, never. Hey.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. And we had a great safety record, great track record, and we always got 4 or 5 stars on the job. You were always proud of that. You were like, Jimmy did it again. Jimmy did it again. Everybody was really happy with it.
Do you remember any jobs in particular that you did for me? Any houses that you drive by nowadays and say, hey, I did that house a long time ago?
Well, there was one house in particular that we did was up outside of Mystic, and it was so funny. It was it was natural. It was like a cedar house. 2 women lived there, and they came out with this new stuff. And you go, you got to wear gloves, Jimmy. You got to wear gloves with this stuff.
I think it was wood guard.
Whatever, we found out later, they took it off the market after a year because it had copper sulfate in it. So it was like
really?
deadly. Oh my God, it was so carcinogenic. and I was like, Paul, where's that stuff? Because we use it on log cabins. I remember that. I'm like, this stuff is beautiful. It makes the house look golden. And you were like, yeah, they don't make it no more. Why? Because you'll die.
Yeah. And yet another piece of the puzzle, Jimmy.
That's right. Oh my God, just another piece of the puzzle.
It's all coming together.
How many brain cells did you lose that year?
Oh my God, dude. Thank God we did a lot of painting outside. That's where I learned how to do popcorn ceilings. Now
really?
I'm stripping them. Now I'm making money stripping them. Nobody does popcorn ceilings anymore.
Nobody.
It's like bell bottoms.
We do that. We still do that, and it's.
Do you really?
It's a pain in the neck job.
Wow.
No
All
shit.
right.
It's so dirty.
Very hard to estimate.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Sure.
Well, sometimes they don't come off easy.
Right.
So.
Oh, coming up.
If there was primer put on, forget it.
Yeah.
So we
it's there.
sheetrock them. I sheetrock them.
I do
now.
too. I either take a thin layer of sheetrock over the top of it, or just rip it all down. And put it new.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah.
Is that what you're doing?
I would agree with putting the sheetrock up on top.
Yeah.
Sometimes they come off easy. Sometimes you can have a room done in an hour, maybe, if it's coming off that easily.
Okay.
Because, these builders will just spray it right on there without the primer.
If it's a house built in 1970, it'll come off. But there's people who sold the house and you're going into a new house and now they don't want the popcorn ceiling. They painted the ceilings just before they left and used an oil primer, and you can scratch your fingernails across and nothing's coming off.
Right.
It's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
Now, do you try to do patchwork too for popcorn ceilings, or?
Yeah, we have jobs all the time where we have to go in and do patches, and the patches are very hard to match.
Yeah.
You really need a craftsperson to do that.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm a master at
really?
it now.
Are you really?
I'm a master at it.
God.
So, Jimmy, we could call you and
Absolutely.
subcontract some work to you?
Yeah. Homeowners don't even know where the patch was.
Really?
Honestly. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I've got it down pretty good.
I got to see this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can look at it and go, I got this. And then,
that sounds like I've been in the business 30 years kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, then there's other ones that like why didn't you call me back? that's when I know I can't.
Makes you wonder.
Right.
Yeah.
So what kind of paints do you usually use, Paul, on the job?
We typically use Benjamin Moore or Sherwin-Williams.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I also like Pittsburgh, but we don't really have too many local distributors of
I was going
Pittsburgh.
to say, they seem to be fizzling out. Places that I thought definitely used to sell it no longer sell it.
Well, they don't need to, because they paint all the airplanes and they paint all the cars. They make so much money doing that.
Yeah.
They don't really need to go. They don't need to really go residential.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen some companies using PPG in commercial work.
Yeah.
It was sold to me by some guy who was a salesman, and he said, Pittsburgh Paint makes their own resins. That's why, and it's such a high quality. I don't know, Paul, have you ever used when there was a local store down in Madison when they used to carry Pittsburgh Paint? They had an exterior paint called Sunproof.
Yes.
And my God, dude, that was like the best enamel ever I used on trim outside. That never peeled, faded. It always kept its nice shine. It cleaned really well, cleaned really easy. So I'm glad you agree with me on that.
They also have a very good interior flat ceiling paint that a friend of mine that is in the business swears by. That you can put it on a ceiling and it's dead flat, and that's hard to find.
Yeah,
too.
Absolutely.
So
there's different grades. I know Ben Moore has got a little different. Has got a little gray in it. I always use Master Hide on ceilings, Sherwin-Williams, because that hides a lot of sins.
Master Hide is good.
Yeah, it's got a clay base to it, and it's good for walls too when you're priming walls, thickening walls up. So anywho,
Paul, about how long does a really good paint last? paint job last on the exterior of a house? Like
Exterior.
Yeah. So
If it's
like
prepped
how,
right.
Right. If it's prepped right. Like how often does a homeowner need to budget for a new paint job?
Well, I would love to say that down in Florida, you're probably looking at 15 years, but down up here in New England, with the changing
Sure.
of the seasons, you're probably, if you can get 7 to 10 years out of your paint job,
Yeah.
you're in good shape.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So okay. All right.
I'm due at the cottage. My woodscapes is just about worn off. It's just about gone. But that's taking harsh weather. And people ask me on solid stain, like a latex stain, what do I prefer exterior? I tell them woodscapes because that stuff just covers great. Especially if you have a dark house and you go with a light color, it almost gets it in one coat. Just about gets it in one coat.
Yeah, Woodscapes came out 1999, I think. And at first it was kind of like, I don't know. You know, you're going from an alkyd stain, which was the rage in the day, and going to a latex stain, and then you're inclined to think this is not going to work. And it does work.
Yeah, it works really good.
I had Woodscapes on my house, and it lasted 8 years, one coat applied via airless sprayer.
Wow.
And then it's funny because I switch back and forth. Right now I have Ben Moore on my house, and then inside I have Sherwin-Williams. So I use them both.
You got them all covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you find in customers? What are they calling for usually in the paint? Are they calling for? Is it usually just like Ben Moore, Sherwin-Williams, stuff like that?
Most people depend on us to kind of give a recommendation, but then you have some people that will come in with their own what they want to use based on research that they might have done.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'd say 80% of the time it's up to us.
Do you ever turn?
Really?
Do you ever turn customers away on certain paints that they buy if they're going to want to use them? Yep.
We would not want to use anything from the big box stores. I'm not going to say which ones.
Oh my God, you're playing it safe, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Because we all know
We've
what
probably
that
talked
is.
about it before on our show.
We've talked. Yeah, so we'll save you.
Yeah, the primer and paint in one.
We used a stain one time, a solid stain, at the customer's request, and it was the same color as they had used 5 years before.
Mm-hmm.
Did not cover in one coat.
And did you budget for one coat, and you had to tell them
Right, and then I had to tell them we needed a second coat, and they were not happy.
I bet not.
That's
And
not
they
your
blamed
fault.
it, and it was our fault, obviously.
Of course it
we
was.
can't
Of course
paint.
it was. Right.
Right.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
But if you had used Woodscapes, that one coat would have covered. So.
Yeah. Well.
Sometimes you can just do what we can to educate.
Yeah.
And then they make the final decisions. So,
Yeah.
Yep. Happens all the time.
And if you're buying any paint for less than $20 a gallon, then you're probably not buying a good paint.
That's true.
So
That's what we talk about too when we're talking about flooring.
Yep.
Colin's an advocate on that. He says you don't buy something that's $1.60 a square foot,
right,
Because you're buying crappy material and it's going to fail.
It's going to
You
snap.
don't
It's
really
going to
don't-
break during installation, and won't last very long.
Yeah, you don't save any money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people want to cut down on their paint costs, but I'm telling you, the more you spend on your gallon of paint, the more you're getting from your paint. So
Right.
Yep. I agree.
I do too.
I can't believe it. With 3 guys sitting there talking about paint. Is that something? Wow.
at least we're not watching it dry.
That's right.
That's
Oh my
true.
God.
Right. That's
Drinking beer.
That's the audience.
Watching it
job.
dry. Oh my God. This is compelling. I tell you, we're sitting on the edge of our seats. Literally. Why? Because we're on stools. That's why.
Comfortable stools.
Paul, when are you retiring? When are you gonna
Retiring?
yeah.
What the heck does that mean?
Not
What are you,
gonna
53?
retire, huh?
You're 53, dude?
I think I first got into this at 21, so now I'm
All right.
53. So 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Paul's he's an avid runner.
Yep.
He's a calorie counter now that I found out.
Okay.
He's a perfect specimen at 53 years old. He's under 200 pounds.
Uh-huh.
He's rock solid.
All right.
Freaking good. The only thing, I asked him if he wanted a slice of pizza. He was like, no, I had my 2 pieces of pizza today. He had a mint. That was it. He's good to go. See you in the morning, dude.
Well,
You know?
good for him.
Yeah.
Right.
If I have to track it, I can't have it.
Right.
All right.
You have to
You're not
track
on the
it,
whole
you
like
can't have
keto
it.
thing, are you? Or
No.
Not doing the keto
No.
thing.
all right.
I'm trying to still eat somewhat normally, but just kind of keep track of the calories
Okay.
and lose a little bit at a time. My goal is like a half a pound a week. So,
Really?
All right.
yeah.
Half a pound a week.
You know how long that's going to take for us,
Oh,
Jim?
forget it.
Half a
Yep,
pound a
3
week.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I'll see you next year.
I lost a half a pound, but I just had a quarter pounder.
Right.
So what does that bring me now?
No, you can't outweigh yourself every day. You have to weigh yourself once a week.
Just once a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a good same time each week.
All right.
First thing in the morning.
All right.
Really? Why first thing in the morning?
Well, when you wake up, aren't you weighing less than you did the night before?
Well,
I don't know.
You will in about 45 minutes.
Me? No. But if I guess if I was
Because there's
trying,
nothing in your stomach at that point in time. So
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
I would weigh myself after I poop. Right?
Well, that's what I was thinking too.
That's what I'm
So,
thinking
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Well, let's just
so
be
in the morning after you poop.
right.
Right.
Welcome to Paint and Poop today.
Right.
Here's your host, Paul Gray.
Yes.
Jimmy Driscoll. While we're at it, I'm due for colonoscopy real soon. But anyway,
Ugh. I know. Me too.
right?
I had mine.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah. Those are great.
It went well.
Nice.
God
said,
bless you.
They said see you in 10 years.
that's wonderful.
Oh, you get 10 years. You're so lucky. I get 5.
Yeah, I got 5.
Yeah. Mine
know
started
they-
at 30.
They don't. Have you drank the stuff they make you drink?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When you first drink it, it's like it's kind of sweet, but then when you swallow, it's like
Oh, it's like that salty
the
sweet.
metallic taste.
Yeah. Oh.
It's that second one you got to take is the worst.
I always say, why can't they make that taste better? There's got to be a way.
Probably not.
There's got to be. But actually, I do the pills now.
They got pills.
They got pills.
Oh.
They work just as well.
Wow.
But they taste exactly the same as the
Ugh.
drink. But at least it's just pills. Take it quick and then just
Do you drink
drink
it with water?
something quick. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't have to worry about it until I'm 61. So
There you go.
Wow.
All right. So we've talked about paint, colonoscopies.
and poop.
What else can we delve into?
All
here?
right. So listen, on a professional end,
Yeah.
you can ask you guys this, and customers like to know. It's what kind of paintbrushes do you guys use?
Purdy.
Purdy.
Yeah, I like those.
If it came down to Purdy and a Corona, you would go with a.
Probably a Purdy.
Really?
Really?
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I like Corona too.
What about rollers? Naps. I mean, not rollers, but naps. What do you use to apply with?
Use pretty or
I got a painter who uses white. This is good for, customers if you're like, basically on a professional end, I know a couple professional painters who will use a 3/4 inch Purdy White Dove nap to do the walls. And the texture on the wall comes out phenomenal after one coat, you know?
Yeah, I like the White Dove. I like the half-inch nap. Do you still do the wrap the tape around the
No.
nap before you?
I did it once,
Yeah.
and that was it.
what is that now?
You wrap the tape around the nap before you start, and it gets all the extra hairs that are loose
Oh,
off the nap, so you don't roll those hairs onto the wall.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
We got
You
we
was
got
Just
Purdy.
one paint tip.
You were sitting on that jewel all this time, Jimmy. The whole tape trick, and you didn't tell anybody.
No.
Oh man.
And I got to the point now I rarely ever use painter's tape, only on radiators. None of professional painters never use painter's tape.
No.
Never.
Of course not.
Ever. Never. Nope. And Paul taught me the right way how to hold a brush and how to use a brush and what size brush to use. Never use a little brush. This guy over here, Colin, he's one of the little freaking femmy dinky brushes.
He's out of his
the
mind.
little
Don't
puds.
listen to him.
With the little
What,
puds.
2-inch?
Oh my, yeah, with the little pudgy handle, stupid thing. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I love holding him this way. That's awful. That's sacrilegious.
Just making stuff up.
You need a long handle.
Listen, let's talk about colonoscopies again.
No. Let's not.
How about prostate again?
Oh, my
What
God.
do we want to talk about?
You need a handle like the size of a closet pole if you're going to paint. Be a man.
No,
I don't paint.
Use a 3.5-inch angled brush on trim or on a window.
Right.
That's when
Okay.
you're good.
Yep.
So.
Angled.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what the old timers use. Never a little paintbrush. Never, ever. Haven't seen it.
My wife will do the hobby brush to get the line just perfect. I'm
Well.
like, you're out of your mind.
Well, that's your house.
That's not
If
me.
I ever did that on a professional job, that'd be like,
Oh yeah,
I'm going to be here 4 years.
Yeah. Jimmy's moving in.
Yes.
Going to
Yeah.
paint the house and they're going to build me an addition while I'm painting.
Uh,
Well, buddy, what, anything else?
We love do-it-yourselfers.
Yeah.
of course we do. Of course we do.
That's a nice yellow shirt you got on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is our color now.
Is
All
it
right.
really?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right.
Really? I would say you came from South Africa. I just came from South Africa. The same color.
Playing cricket.
We stand out in a crowd.
Absolutely.
There you go.
So-
Now, how do people find you guys?
Well, we advertise in the radio. We send out direct mail still. That seems to still work.
Okay.
We're on the internet all over the place.
Nice.
Uh,
So the website is
www.CertaPro.com.
That's
Mystic,
okay.
and we're Mystic Glastonbury.
Mr.
Awesome.
Glastonbury.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Ask for Paul Gray.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll get him. But you can ask
And
for him.
Very busy, especially
Our-
after this show.
Our residential guy is Mike Romines. So any residential homes, decks, interior, exterior, he'll take care of that. I'll take care of businesses, condos. all sorts of commercial work, churches, you name it.
Yeah.
Great.
And again, I back CertaPro painters. I think you guys are great. You got the quality is way up there. You do a lot of quality control, and I've never heard a dissatisfied customer with your company.
Nice.
Very good.
Awesome, buddy.
Very
So
good.
good to
Hey,
see you,
Paul,
man.
thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
you having me on.
Absolutely.
20 years too long, man.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see everybody later.
All right.
See you, Jim.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.